Well, with at least 17% of the U.S. population, Latinos constitute the largest minority in the country. In this election year, their opinion and their votes are more important than ever. Democrat Hillary Clinton is popular with Latinos more so than her party rival Bernie Sanders. The Republican Party continues to poll poorly among this key demographic group. The presumptive Republican nominee, Donald Trump, is said to have alienated many Latinos by saying that he'll build a wall between Mexico and the U.S. to stop immigration. Consider what he said about Mexicans coming to the U.S.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
Now, it goes without saying, Republicans, thanks to Donald Trump, have their work cut out for them in the Latino communities of the U.S. Our next report takes us to Miami and to a group of conservative Catholics in that city's large Latino community. There, Trump is drawing new backers, or at least some new consideration.
In a district of Miami known as Little Havana, Cuban exiles enjoy a game of dominoes. The most conservative of the city's Cuban community generally support the Republican Party in the U.S. But with Donald Trump almost certain to win the Republican nomination, November's presidential election may prove different.
A presidential nominee doesn't talk the way that man talks. He reminds me of what's-his-name in Venezuela. He talks the same garbage.
These domino players say they're not impressed with Trump's move so far, and they're not going to join in his political game.
As a president, he'll have cruel policies towards people who have to come and live in this country, those who have to leave their home countries because there are lots of problems in the world with poverty and politics, and with political leaders especially.
Lucy Ramon has been living in the United States for about 20 years. Despite her Latino roots, she says she supports Donald Trump. There are thousands of Latinos working in Donald Trump's companies, and all of them are happy with him. Because he's a man who, whenever he falls, he picks himself up again, even if he might fall 1,000 times. And that's what Latin Americans are used to seeing. The message he gives to the Latino community is that this is a country of space and opportunities. Lorenzo Palomares, a former Miami candidate for the House of Representatives, is Trump's Latino spokesman. He says the tycoon's political ideas have been misunderstood.
Mr. Trump did not say that anyone who crosses the border is a bad person. What he said was that anyone who crosses the border without the right papers is committing a crime, and that among those people there are thieves, rapists, drug traffickers and other bad people. But some of those who come here are very good people. The fact is that crossing the border in that way is a crime in the United States. Every country has its borders and citizenship rules, and they must be respected.
Palomares is convinced the Republican candidate will win November's election with the support of Latino voters, including the Cuban American community. He says Trump's position on Cuba could be an incentive for new generations of Cuban exiles to vote for him.
Trump has said if Cubans want to do business with us, then they can, but they can't expect help or financial support from us. If they don't want help, then yeah, let them come over and spend as much money as they want. End of story.
A grave concern for some, a grand hope for others. The controversial tycoon clearly has many in Miami's Cuban community talking.
All right, let's flesh this story out a little bit. I'm joined now by the chairman of the Washington, D.C. Republican Committee, Jose Cunningham. He's the first gay Latino to chair a local Republican Party committee in the United States. Mr. Cunningham, good afternoon to you. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us. Let's say that the presumptive candidate, Mr. Trump, let's say he's going to be your nominee come November. Are you planning to vote for him?
I'm going to support the nominee because I don't want Hillary Clinton to become our next president. The fact of the matter is that if it is Donald Trump, I believe his policies on jobs and religious freedom and national security and the economy are much better.
So I assume then those things supersede the things that he has said about Latinos. And before I get you to answer that, let's just listen to some of the things that Mr. Trump has been saying about Latinos.
I would build a great wall, and nobody builds walls better than me, believe me. And I'll build them very inexpensively. I will build a great, great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall. Mark my words.
Mr. Cunningham, what do you say to that when you hear your candidate say that about Latinos?
I guess I'd have to just say that he is really tapping into the fear and anger of many Americans. And this is really not about Latinos or Mexicans, but the fear that many of us have about the economy and jobs and foreign policy. Let me just describe one, and to his defense, quite frankly, to Donald Trump's defense. The first time I met Donald Trump was last year at a dinner, and he is very aware of the bombastic nature of his rhetoric. I introduced myself to him as Jose Cunningham from Mexico. I was born in Mexico, and without skipping a beat, he said, "Now remember, I said there are plenty of really good, fantastic Mexicans." And I thought that was pretty funny. So he's very aware of that, and I wouldn't take it that seriously.
Do you consider Trump to be a Republican?
I do. He's supported Republicans for many, many years. He's given a lot of money to Republicans.
Yeah, but come on, he's Mr. Cunningham. Come on, let's be honest. He has supported the Clintons for a very long time as well. You can't use that argument with us.
I think, and he's explained that he's done that. He's explained that he's done that for business reasons. But he's also, particularly since he's been a candidate, he's been espousing Republican ideals, a lot of Republican ideals, and quite frankly, I think we need to go forward with that.
You represent the party of Abraham Lincoln. I mean, when you hear Trump using the language that he uses, I mean, just some of the stuff that he was using in Albuquerque yesterday, I mean, he sounds like a thug. How can you be proud of a candidate who connects with people by talking about other people so badly?
I must say I do cringe at some of his rhetoric. There's no doubt about it. But when he has an opportunity to sit back and think about that, he's walked back a lot of that rhetoric. Just recently with Megyn Kelly, he apologized to Heidi and Ted Cruz. And the fact of the matter is that I can be proud of a candidate who would leverage his success, really big success, as a businessman and a marketeer to the benefit of America, and as he says, to make America great again.
Mr. Cunningham, I mean, I do have to admire your resilience here. You know that Trump is not polling well among gays, and he's not, and lesbians either. Why in the world would you want him to be your next president, you as an openly gay man? How do you square that circle?
Well, I have yet to hear some of the specifics about Donald Trump and the gay issue, but the fact of the matter is there was plenty of anecdotal evidence, specific evidence that he has attended many gay weddings, that he has been incredibly kind to gay guests at his resorts. He has many times said that he is against discrimination. But I think more importantly, the fact of the matter is that I, as well as a lot of other gay Republicans in America, we're not one-issue voters. And I'm really in this. I enjoy being the chairman of the Republican Party in Washington, D.C., because I want to support our nominee, and I don't want Hillary Clinton to become our next president.
All right, we're going to have to wrap it up there. The chairman of the Washington, D.C. Republican Committee, Mr. Jose Cunningham. Mr. Cunningham, thank you very much. We appreciate your time.